following is a special presentation of Digital Horizons, the leader in sports highlights entertainment.
Starting out with pre-show action here, the precursor to Super Indy 10 here on IWC DBE. Joe Dabrowski ringside with Jay Worthington Farnsworth, the distinguished one, and Rob Naylor, the diminutive one. And we are set for the 10th anniversary of the pinnacle event on the IWC calendar year, gentlemen.
No doubt about that, Joe Dabrowski, IWC Super Indy 10. Let's get this stuff started.
8-man tag team action. Introducing first, it's the bizarre and unusual chest flexor, along with the Mexican standout lowrider, the frontman Logan Shulo, and the youngster Kingsley. 8-man tag team competition, and certainly we know the familiar music of the opposing team's captain, a man who's had tons of success here at Super Indy in the past, most notably last year. Let's go up to Pedro DeLuca with the introductions momentarily as we prepare for a banner night, not just in terms of in-ring action, but the IWC power struggle. Looking at a former Super Indy 8 finalist in Justin Idol, the feature presentation, David R. DeMera, Gory Futuristic, who thinks he's from the future because he's bat-you-know-what crazy, and of course, the future of fashion and the Filipino flex factory, Shima Zion, freshly back from Orlando, Florida, where he's making some big waves in professional wrestling.
You know, let's start with, I got a question. What happened between Lowrider and Shima? I know that they were close at one point. I actually met Lowrider through Shima. I guess the bigger question is, does Chest Flexor have enough money to get people to betray friends? And if so, how can I get a part of this?
So you still believe Chest Flexor when he claims to be the billion-dollar man?
Well, I didn't until clearly a person who used to be close to Shima Zion is now standing against him.
Well,
it takes some cash to do that.
I think there's a lot of professional and personal rivalry and jealousy there between the two men. Shima spent extensive time in Mexico. We'll see if they collide. In the course of this matchup, it's Chest Flexor, and then right now with David R. DeMera, we've seen them clash in the past, but 8-man tag, it's going to be very unpredictable, very fast-paced action between a lot of guys who are looking for a major statement, a major banner night for their careers to stand out at Super Indy 10.
And they're dropping grievances with each other. Justin Idol and Shima Zion, correct me if I'm wrong, there's no love lost there either.
A long-time rivalry in the tag team division, right you are, Mr. Naylor. It's Kingsley now with the size advantage over Gory Futuristic. Why does this guy think he's from the future? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Because he is.
How do you know?
Because he is. He told me.
Did he give you some stock tips or some Super Bowl results or something?
Possibly.
Make some money off of this thing?
Some of them were right.
I see.
The third member of the new breed.
Maybe he's from the future, but he lies.
He's from 3002, man. I'm telling you.
I see. Well, he claims that there was some sort of difference between him and Chest Flexor that had happened in the future, and that's why they're not teaming tonight. He says Chest Flexor turns into some kind of a horrible person, which leads me to believe that, isn't he bad enough already? Kingsley
what
taken
is he
down.
Now?
That's a good question.
I'm going with Robot.
He's dressed like a pillow half the time. There's the satellite head scissors by Futuristic, who's got great agility on his side. But Kingsley with the power. Dropping Futuristic down into the backbreaker.
You can tell Futuristic still learning the ropes, still trying to get used to competing against people. It looked like he wanted to go for a satellite head scissor and just sort of got lost in that and took a backbreaker from Kingsley.
Well, he allegedly has a few hundred years of experience. You'd think he'd get it by now.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, has he said in the future he has the... Maybe right now, he's in the present.
If he's in the future, I believe in de-evolution, as we have a near-fall center of the ring, and a tag has been made to one of the most underrated athletes. Well, let's make it two of the most underrated in the area. Justin Idol, former multiple-time tag team champion, and the frontman Logan Shulo. We've seen both men perform well in Super Indies in years gone by, but failed to make the elite field of 10 this evening that is here from all over the world to crown one Super Indy champion. Of course, Hentai moves in as defending Super Indy champion, looking to three-peat.
Justin Idol using some of that veteran presence here with a series of arm drags. This guy's been around, he's done it all. And Logan Shulo, a bit younger, but this guy's versatile as well. Great power and very underrated high-flying skills. We saw amazing versatility and aerial skills from Shulo back 3 weeks ago as he not just boots Justin Idol, but physically drives Idol down into the canvas. We saw Shulo give it his all against Ricky Reyes in a Super Indy qualifier, but now Shima Zion enters. But here's that rivalry with Shima and Lowrider.
Was there a tag?
I'm not sure. It might be Lucha Rules as far as Lowrider is concerned.
Very true.
Look at this action.
That language barrier that exists between the United States and the Lucha style in Mexico. Lowrider has youth on his side. He's only 18 years old. Seems like he's been 18 for 2.5 years. I'm not sure how he does it, but be that as it may, Naylor, you know about the Fountain of Youth yourself.
Look at this! Beautiful Rana! Rope-assisted bounce right there. Lowrider on fire! Oh, until he ate that boot.
But let's not discount Shima. Studied extensively in Mexico. He knows this style. Springboard into the arm drag. Nicely done.
Shima Zion, Lowrider tearing it up right here in our pre-show match.
And let's be honest, I don't know that Shima Zion's ever looked in better shape. Looks like he's put on a little more muscle. And now, for all that speed combined with power, he is a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, yeah. Recent appearances all over this country, including on Impact Wrestling on Spike TV. Lowrider goes to the eyes. I'm sure Chest Flexor taught him that one out of the language barrier.
I wouldn't be surprised. Whoa!
Another beautiful lucha-style arm drag.
Carousel arm drag, if you will, over the top. Lowrider hits a forearm. Look at this, perpetual motion.
Springboard lost his balance, great recovery! Into the corkscrew, could have it here, 2.5.
Beautiful spinning body press.
The problem with all that speed is when you see someone moving like that, and then all of a sudden they stop, you're not sure is that part of what they're doing, and you try and adjust. And that's what happened to Shima. Lowrider slipped, and Shima tried to stop to figure out what he was doing, and it gave Lowrider the chance to hit that springboard.
Oh, you want to talk about adjustments? It's a culture shock from Lowrider to Logan Shulo. Two different styles, and there's the power of the front man. Follow through clothesline. No one in this matchup can match Logan Shulo in the power department, and that could be Shima's downfall right now.
Well, I've heard that a Gory Futuristic will be able to in the future.
I see. You depend on that kid a lot for information, don't you?
Well, this is just what I've heard. He is from the future, and that's who you trust.
Does everybody wear that weird eye makeup in the future? Does he just not sleep a lot, or what's the deal?
I didn't ask.
I see.
It is pretty weird. I'm not going to give you that.
Is Jason Gory from the future?
No, I don't think.
Could be a future Super Indy champion. We'll see at the end of the night.
He might just be futuristic.
Shima Zion, you can see him wincing in pain in the lower back. Shulo has got himself, again, much like Shima, in such great physical conditioning, and he's got that focus and confidence that he lacked in his first year or two in the business as well, now that he used that rock and roll type lifestyle into his pro wrestling career.
Oh.
Shima hair quicker, catches Shulo off guard, and makes the tag. Into the matchup comes David R. DeMera, a man who wants to springboard for professional wrestling into a career on stage and screen, but easier said than done. The would-be good looks of DeMera may be permanently scarred by Shulo. When this matchup is done, it's the music world and the film world.
Well, really, if Ted DiBiase Jr. can do it, how tough can it be?
I won't touch that one. Logan Shulo. Suplex, hang on. And able to combo with a back suplex right in the back of the neck, 2-0.
No doubt about it, Joe. You said it earlier, but really a lot of improvement on Logan Shulo's part. Just chaining moves together like a 10-year veteran even.
Oh, speaking of improvements, Chest Flexor is certainly, up for debate whether or not he's improved his wardrobe here from prior months, but
that wardrobe is downright impressive.
Farnsworth, as we see the illegal triple team in the corner on the left side, we've asked this a lot of times over the last several months. I'll get your take on it since it's been a while since we've been together. Who is Chest Flexor?
Chest Flexor is the billion-dollar man. He is the man in the ring that is commanding this amazing team. He's the man that has the bank account to not only afford to turn a friend against friend, but can afford that outfit.
So he just randomly found $1 billion in a sock drawer one day.
I didn't ask him how. Maybe he earned it.
You don't do a lot of follow-up, do you?
He seems trustworthy.
I see. Tag in, Kingsley in now.
You don't ask too many questions when there's $1 billion in front of you.
Naylor, how'd you like to meet Kingsley in a dark alley?
That would be a really, really bad night for me, let me tell you.
Step over toe hold, very funk-esque, if you will. Some extra torque on it, on Demera.
Oh, hard punch to the face. That's one way out of that.
Demera knows he's in enemy territory right now. The Flexor team has been able to cut off the ring at its hypotenuse. For the moment, Demera inching, crawling to the tag, but Flexor tag backed in, but set right into enemy territory, tag into Idol. The most experienced in tag team competition is now firing away on everybody. 2 for the price of 1.
Hypotenuse? Geometrician.
You gotta catch up. Lowrider maybe goes for that Pedrito driver. Idol counters. The STO into the backbreaker.
And the beat down on Idol. Oh! I think we're breaking down here, gentlemen.
The officials completely lost control. 8 men all looking to stand out, much of them with their first major career opportunity. And this is what you get, the heart and desire of the IWC. Team Flexor is reeling. And the meeting of the mind center ring doesn't help matters. Shima directing traffic.
And everyone bailed out.
Oh, wait a minute. Something big coming right here, guys.
Oh, Shima's always life or death with high risk.
Oh,
Beautiful springboard moonsault to the outside.
wait a minute. Low Rider tuning up the fan here. This guy can fly.
He's got about 7 prone bodies to work with. The corkscrew. It's a human demolition derby as twirl.
I don't know if you caught this, but when Lowrider went for that move, he kicked Shima's Ion square in the head. Shima's slow to get up.
I am so impressed with Low Rider, the youngster out of Perros del Mal. Promotion, catches the boot in the face.
Yeah, that Mexican chulo, he's known life on the streets his entire existence, but now there's nothing to prepare for IWC, and Logan Chulo's vertical leap. Can you believe it? That guy's got to be about 6'3" or 4, and he's got about an 8-foot vertical leap.
Lowrider, huge stomp!
This could be all. Lowrider could get it here.
Oh,
And Idol connects with a thrust kick. Lowrider may not remember his latest stay in the U.S., but watch Shima. The 2 veterans on the same team, Idol and Shima! To the 450, the pin, and Shima gets the victory. What an action-packed 8-man tag, and gentlemen, this event hasn't even officially started. This is the precursor, the calm before the storm. What about Shima Zion and company, and what about the night we're gonna have here in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania?
I am pumped up for this. Shima Zion pumping the crowd up right now.
You want to get a crowd hot? This is how you do it. Let me ask you, gentlemen, is Super Indy 10 looking sweet or what?
No doubt about that.
Definitely not looking sour. It's a time to pay tribute and homage to Larry Sweeney. It's a time to look towards the future and crown possibly our next champion. Super Indy 10, ladies and gentlemen, is right now.
There are many who strive, but few endure. There are many who struggle, but few prevail. And of those who remain, there is only one who can truly be called a Super Indy.
in this all-important professional wrestling event, one of the biggest events, and not just the IWC calendar year, but all of independent professional wrestling. There's so many tournaments throughout the area, throughout the country, throughout the world, but few really stand up above all else. But when you look at the history of IWC Super Indy tournaments, tournament winners like Chris Sabin, Colt Cabana, Delirious, Larry Sweeney, Jerry Lynn, of course Hentai, Shima. When you look at the other champions, such as AJ Styles, over the years.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet and welcome the 10 men that will compete here tonight in Super Indy 10. First, the generic luchador, Generico.
These men have come from far and wide, all over the world, to take part in some by invite, some by qualifier. But each and every one of them very deserving of this spot and this honor.
Egotistico, Fantastico.
Regional promotions from the East Coast, Midwest, up north, Ring of Honor, and others. Of course, IWC is well represented. Certainly a big international flair brought to this event with men like Generico, Fantastico, and Del Sol. We'll talk more about them throughout the broadcast. And here's a dark horse. Here's a guy that can win it all. Under the radar, but in his fourth tournament, Gory could bring it home.
IWC's own Michael Facade.
And the ironic contrast of Gory's tag partner also being involved. The Neon Ninja himself, Michael Facade.
Also representing the IWC, Tyler Stone.
And here's the X Factor. An alternate for Pinky Sanchez, who backed out due to injury suffered on the East Coast last weekend.
Return former IWC heavyweight champion, Reyes.
It's been tap out or pass out for Reyes throughout his IWC career.
Coach Boom Boom Cabana.
Two-time IWC champion. Winner of Super Indy 2.
Not least, the current IWC Super Indy champion, Super Hentai.
I'm so disappointed in Super Hentai. Aligning with the founding fathers 3 weeks ago with the road to Super Indy. Threw away his legacy. Bottom line. The legacy he's built for 10 years with Super Indy.
And ladies and gentlemen, I've been directed by Super Hentai to please direct your attention to the rear of the building, as also joining us at ringside, the founding fathers.
Hopefully with as little influence as possible, this night is not about them. At least this tournament isn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the 10 men that will comprise your Super Indy 10 field here tonight. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to come to the ring the man that made this all possible.
Well, Chuck Roberts has a match tonight. As weird as that sounds, with Bubba the Bulldog for control of IWC.
On behalf of IWC, and thank you very much for that warm welcome, Pedro. And on behalf of IWC, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been privileged to be a part of the Super Indy tournament. This is now my 8th event involved with this tournament rather. And I couldn't be happier than to bring you here tonight a group of 10 individuals that certainly step outside and beyond the realm of what it means to be an unbelievable performer inside this ring. This event was built on work rate. This event was built on the ability to be able to wow and to be able to put each and every one of you in awe better than any other company in this area. Here tonight, every one of these individuals, all the guys on the outside, and that's right, even the founding fathers, are going to give you guys a show here tonight like you've never seen before. And the reason we're going to do that is twofold. Number one, we're going to do it for you. Number two, we're going to do it for a man that made his mark part of his mark in this industry right here in this event alone. Ladies and gentlemen, here tonight, I couldn't be more proud. We're wearing purple because his colors were purple and pink. We couldn't be more proud to be here for this event, to be able to entertain you, but to be able to thank a man that unfortunately is not with us here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, if you please direct your attention up to the video screen. Thanks to our good friend Tony, who's been with us a long time. He put together a fabulous video presentation to dedicate and thank in the memory of Alex Wybrow, Sweet and Sour, Larry Sweeney. Joe, hit the lights, please.
It's do or die time, my man. You know what? Last month, you proved one thing, that you're good at running away. But tonight, Larry Sweeney wins the IWC Super Indy Honor. Ain't no place to run, ain't no place to hide, because it's Tetra Panel, baby, and your ass is mine.
Hey, Larry Sweeney. I just want to state for the record, you look good in that outfit.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the ways that we want to help support the event here tonight on behalf of Larry Sweeney is to dedicate some things here tonight. As you can see, the competitors have their Super Indy t-shirts. And what we want to do here tonight is we have the t-shirts available, and a portion of the proceeds of those t-shirts on behalf of IWC is going to be given over the Threshold Charity. Threshold Charity is a charity that supports those with severe mental issues. And on behalf of IWC, and thanks to all of your generosity here tonight, we want to be able to do that. We also have, and again, these are special things. It's not hawking t-shirts. It's giving to a charity in the memory of a man and a company that meant so much to one another. And we also have a 50-50 raffle here tonight that Pedro's going to tell you about, where the rest of those proceeds are also going to go to that charity as well. So if you guys do your best, I know you guys always do, we really want to be able to do that, and I'd like to be able to give that to Threshold on behalf of IWC in the name of Alex Weibrow. We got an unbelievable event. I got to get ready. Let's hear it one more time for the superstars of IWC on the outside, and let's hear it for our competitors here tonight as Pedro, let's start the show.
Certainly a very moving and important way to start Super Indy 10. This will be an event to remember. Ain't no doubt about it, gentlemen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to kick off Super Indy 10. The following singles contest is scheduled for a 20-minute time limit. It will be a first-round matchup in the Super Indy 10 tournament. Introducing first in the corner to my right. He weighs in at 194 pounds, wrestling out of Tijuana, Mexico. He is the generic luchador, Generico!
Ring of Honor standout making his IWC debut this evening, looking to win gold on his very first night.
In the corner to my left, he weighs in at 170 pounds, wrestling out of Mexico City, Mexico. He is the king of high flying, Samuray del Sol!
You've seen Samurai compete in IWC and Super Indy contendership matches in the past, but never before has he received an opportunity like this. Welcome once again from ringside, Joe Dombrowski alongside Jay Worthington Farnsworth and Rob Naylor, bringing you right off the cuff the very first matchup in the first round of Super Indy 10. 10 competitors entered to receive a bye. That is Super Indy 2 winner Cole Cabana and Super Indy 1 and 8 winner Super Hentai. Hentai's bye came at the hands of the Founding Fathers. Cabana at the hands of Chuck Roberts.
Hold on. Hentai's bye came from the talent and the way that he established this title.
My point was Bubba the Bulldog is the man that initiated the buys 3 weeks ago.
But let's not just breeze past the fact like, oh, it was just handed to Super Hentai. Super Hentai has earned this bye.
Well, I would say he has. He has in his professional career, but I think there's a lot to be desired with how he handled Shima Zion and how he handled this company as a whole. And Chuck Roberts, 3 weeks ago, joining the Founding Fathers and shifting the struggle of power strictly to Bubba the Bulldog. He has all championships in his control right now. Hopefully we'll change that tonight, but right now it's El Generico, Samurai del Sol, two masked men, one-on-one center there with a quick pace.
These guys kicking it off with a bang here. Flipping and flying all around. Nice arm drag by El Generico. So glad to see him here in IWC. And a third. Ole!
El Generico is the generic luchador, competes primarily in not just throughout the United States, but also into Canada as well, ironically. And Generico, best known for his amazing wars in Ring of Honor with former tag team partner Kevin Steen, Steve Carino, a number of others, and certainly since he has exorcised that demon of Kevin Steen at the end of last year, Generico has rebuilt a lot of momentum and still stays as one of the top athletes in any promotion he competes in. We've seen men before in the past, like a Delirious, like a Chris Sabin, like a Jerry Lynn, win Super Indy and cement their status as an IWC regular for a period of time. Generico could guarantee a lot of future work here in this organization if he can get through the field of 10, but easier said than done.
Yeah, he's got a big task ahead of him. Samurai del Sol, heard so much about this guy. High intensity extraordinaire. Nice arm drag of his own. Compact young wrestler, showing a ton of agility right here.
And he has a lot of muscle packed on that frame, kind of like a Super Hentai. And Del Sol also competes throughout the United States as well as into Mexico, competed for the DTU promotion in Mexico. I mentioned that because we're a little familiar with that thanks to guys like Lowrider and Shima Zion through the years who have competed down there. And Del Sol
has El Generico, actually.
There you go. Full circle.
No doubt about that. To the far corner.
Del Sol got the feet up. Low center of gravity by Del Sol, but got elevated high. And again, we're going to see a hybrid of not just the Lucha Libre style, the American Cruiserweight style. We're not going to really know what to expect, but whoever can dictate the tempo and whatever their specific choice is will have the advantage. Del Sol creates some distance. Gonna fly! Almost a gymnastic style balancing act to catch himself on the top rope.
And it's a testament to how in shape he is, his training, that he's able to catch himself with his trapezius muscles and stop himself from flying out of the ring.
It's only Del Sol's second match back, I believe. A very serious head injury he suffered a couple of months ago. Generico down for the cover here, too, and I gotta wonder if Generico is aware of that and can scout that. I understand Del Sol has a mean scar on the back of his head. I obviously can't see it because of the mask, but it's taken a lot out of him over the past couple months. Will he have some rust? Will he have some cardiovascular issues? That could come into play when you're talking about a night-long tournament.
He's shown some resilience thus far, Joe, as Generico picks his spot for a backbreaker, perhaps. Got all that one.
Cover once again for a near fall.
You had mentioned the head injury to Del Sol. It's probably worth noting at this point that Generico is known for dropping people on their head on the turnbuckle.
That's very true.
So even if he wasn't injured, that's sort of a problem. With an injury, that he's clear. If that happens, it's clearly going to be a test to it.
Prime target indeed, but do not count out Del Sol. He has won different organizations' variations of world championships in the past, most notably in Mexico as well as in Chicago, where there seems to be a Lucha Libre hotbed in the Midwest United States nowadays.
No doubt about that, Joe, and Samurai Del Sol knows that a win over El Generico will just only further up his, one moment, Irish whip off the ropes. Oh, kick to the head, he got all that one.
Got him right in the temple. Gonna take that opportunity to go high risk. Gonna go cross body. Could have it here. Deep hook of the leg, 2-0. But you raised a good point a moment ago. Samurai Del Sol, a victory over El Generico, much more established in major promotions, much more name value. Del Sol puts himself on that radar, on that level, and that goes back to making history here, making your career overnight with Super Indy, and of course that was started by Super Hentai in 2002.
Look at this, ascending the rope.
At split second, Del Sol had to catch his balance. Could have backfired, but great recovery. Lamahi straddle cradle for 2.5. Near fall.
I thought he had all that one. Beautiful roll up.
It seems like Generico is a little frustrated with the combination of speed and power that Del Sol has been presenting so far.
Talking about the wild kick into a Blue Thunder bomb. Nicely done. Could be enough, but no. The shoulders were exposed on that pinning combination. Del Sol still has a lot left in him. Samurai Del Sol, of course, stands for Samurai of the Sun.
Did not know that.
But could it be a Flight of Icarus type story here where Generico can burn him in the first round?
Well,
oh, no!
There's an Acai DDT. Some more international flair. Almost had him for the near fall.
2 7/8 count right there, Joe.
it's a great impact to land on the back of your head like that. The problem with it being you don't get your full weight or your opponent's full weight over him when you try and pin from that position.
Del Sol going high risk. Nobody home with a moonsault. Generico had to hustle to get out of the way of that one. Generico, keep in mind, extensive tournament experience in the West Coast, in the Los Angeles area, where he competes every year out there in the top tournament out that way.
Oh!
Even made it to the finals one year, and I believe that tournament even more loaded than IWC's in terms of just number and volume. Brainbuster couldn't do it. Got it.
Here's your winner and moving on to the second round by Generic Luchador, Generico.
Burnsworth, you called it perfectly. Whether or not Generico knew about the head injury that kept Del Sol out for a couple of months, it played right into Generico's MO, right into his specialty. That brainbuster wasn't necessarily with the turnbuckle, but still did its damage. Hopefully Del Sol's okay, but now the master of the Olay moves on to the next round.
Congratulations to El Generico. And yeah, dumping a guy on his head normally gets you a win pretty quick. Good strategy.
Generic Luchador makes it to the next round of Super Indy 10.
The following is a first-round matchup in the Super Indy Tag Tournament. Introducing first, he weighs in at 195 pounds, wrestling out of Panama City, Florida, Adam Cole!
For my money, Adam Cole may be the next major rising star in this business. He's got the complete package. However, the 21-year-old, when you're successful that early, it goes to your head. Adam Cole has quite the chip on his shoulder, Rob.
He most certainly does, but he honestly backs it up every time out in that ring. He shows the presence of a veteran despite, as you said, his very youthful age.
You know, having a chip on your shoulder is not necessarily a bad thing. That anger, that frustration, that feeling that the world owes you something, some people are just motivated by it. And if Adam Cole's rising through the ranks of the indie world and having success because of that chip, by all means, strut, preen, be the Panama City Playboy.
Oh, he loves that spotlight, that's for sure. He is the heavy metal high flyer, Jason Gory, competing in his 4th Super Indy tournament, but it's been sort of a curse for him. He's never gotten out of the first round. Who could forget Farnsworth, Super Indy 4, Gory's first ever tournament atmosphere when he got annihilated by low-key Cabal.
Yeah, if you want an introduction to the business, that's a hell of an introduction to get. Low-key decided he wanted to leave an imprint on Gory, and by golly, he did. Those chops left his chest bleeding.
Yeah, one of the worst rear end kickings this guy's ever seen, but that makes him only stronger as he steps in the ring years later against Adam Cole.
Well, we've seen Jason Gory compete in tournaments gone by against the likes of Jerry Lynn at Super Indy 7, Joey Magnum Ryan at Super Indy 8. It's taken the best to knock Jason Gory out of contention. But I really think this has been a banner year for Jason Gory these past 12 months. He's risen to the top of IWC's tag ranks, won the tag titles as part of Flippin' Ain't Easy, and has really improved himself. Not just cardiovascularly, not just as far as gym time, not just in terms of overall presentation, but his confidence is up. This is a different Jason Gory than has competed in Super Indies prior, but is it enough to get by a 21-year-old prodigy who has won one of the most prestigious tournaments in independent wrestling in the East Coast not too long ago, Mr. Adam Cole?
He certainly did. He's just winning tournaments left and right these days, and he's hoping to add this one to that list.
Adam Cole won something called Best of the Best, and certainly if you ask him, he'll agree with that moniker. He competed in the ECWA Super 8, which many say was the front runner to all of these independent wrestling tournaments.
Not a bad movie that's out recently, but
unless you're watching this in a couple years from now, in which case you might want to, search out your cable channels, but be that as it may, we won't date ourselves.
Jason Gory feeling the support of this crowd, and he's certainly won over his fair share of fans over the last few years.
Well, what do you think of Gory's focus, Farnsworth? Could this year be his year?
Honestly, I thought every year could be his year. It's not talent, it's not focus. It's just sometimes the cards don't fall for you. I will grant he was younger and didn't have the experience before, but each year, statistically, he has a better and better shot.
And even though he is a 6-year veteran of Super Indy, I think he's only, 24 years old? That's amazing experience to have. Nice springboard drop. Yeah, I think you'll agree with me, Farnsworth. Jason Gory, pound for pound, is probably the quickest guy on this roster.
Absolutely. And not just as in can run fast and flip quickly. He can change the momentum of a match.
Hurricane run to the outside, and Adam Cole could have landed on his head.
He can change the momentum of a match just as quick as he can snap off any of these moves.
And keep in mind, what I think is the most interesting fact about Jason Gory, he actually is a former Super Indy champion, winning that championship at Super Indy 6 in a non-tournament matchup, but he was only the champion for about an hour and a half because he had to surrender the belt to the tournament winner, who was Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney.
Absolutely true. So he has tasted that title. He has tasted that gold before. I don't know if he actually tasted the title, but he has tasted that gold before.
Not even a cup of coffee.
You know he wants it again.
And since we're talking about tribute to Alex Wybrow, Larry Sweeney. What about the wars Gory had with Sweeney early in Gory's career?
Almost as brutal as the low-key match, just more strung out. It wasn't
cover
one
in the
match.
ring, 2-0. We saw Sweeney try to break Gory's neck at one point. But
Absolutely.
in the ring, Adam Cole has completely switched the tide. Gory went high risk one too many times, and now the Panama City Playboy, as he likes to be called, is now in full control. And Adam Cole, another standout from the Ring of Honor promotion, as well as many other top regional organizations. It's only fitting that he compete here in IWC Super Indy 10, but he certainly has a full plate. How well is he focused for this Super Indy tournament?
Oh, he went for perhaps his Corona kick, and instead, 2 fingers in the eyes.
The old running eye poke of doom.
It certainly was. Beautiful suplex.
Textbook style by Adam Cole. Hooks the leg for 2. Adam Cole beat Justin Idol to qualify for this tournament. And Farnsworth, as I mentioned earlier tonight, Idol is a former Super Indy finalist, and not just any finalist. He was a finalist in the largest Super Indy tournament we ever had to date. I believe there were 12 men that year.
That would have been Super Indy. Wow, they've all just sort of blurred together for me.
I'm going to go with Super Indy 8. You can fact check me.
There you go. Adam Cole now exhibiting supreme confidence as he buries that knee into the back of Jason Gory. Actually, no, right between the shoulder blades even.
Well, Cole knows he needs to ground Jason Gory. He needs to neutralize that high-risk offense. Cole cannot keep up with Gory move for move, but he can outthink him, he can outsmart him, and he can beat him on the mat. That's Adam Cole's strategy here. Plus, he's looking for endurance. If you go full speed, all speed ahead in the first round, you may tire yourself quicker. Cole's pacing himself. He's preparing for the final round.
That's very true, but frankly, being well rested and not advancing doesn't help you much.
Well, that's very true as well. Some men have tried it to perfection. Alex Shelley, Super Indy 3, went through the first 2 rounds quicker than any man in history, and it almost led to a victory over Chris Sabin in 2004. But certainly no shame in losing there. Gory is able to create some distance once again between he and Adam Cole. After using his body weight to send Cole into the ropes, he follows through with the leg and gets a near fall.
Awesome flurry of offense from Jason Gory. He says, "This is my night. I'm going to seize my opportunity." Oh, and he says, "I'm going to go through your neck to get there." Once again, ascending the turnbuckles, Jason Gory on fire.
It's the elevated long blow, and as we mentioned, as far as being a guy who's perceived on a higher echelon than you, cover 2-0 could be a big win for Jason Gory. Just because Jason Gory doesn't have the press and the attention of some of these promotions and publications online doesn't mean he's not as good.
Absolutely. It does not speak to talent. It only speaks to exposure.
Just look at Hollywood.
Amen.
And the music industry.
You mean Hulk Hogan, right?
Well, I won't touch that one either.
Oh! Big time super kick.
Speaking of getting touched.
There you go.
Touched him right in the jaw. And then dumped him on the back of his knee.
2-0.
Here's the thing you wouldn't expect about the Panama City Playboy. He looks like he has a lot of speed, and he does, but he loves power moves. I've seen him do deadlifts and slams like he was a 300-pound, 6'8" man. Might not quite have the impact of a 300-pound, 6'8" man, but he puts a lot behind him.
He makes up for it in technique.
Absolutely.
Gory roll through victory roll, could have him here, 2-0. And Gory, again, just a hair quicker. Cole knows where he wants to go, but he can't get there because Gory's already somewhere else. The Enziguri right to that famed external occipital protuberance.
Oh!
Q-A-S, got him, no!
Oh no, that was 2-15-16.
Half a count away. These guys are letting it all out here at the Super Indy 10.
How close can one get? Gory can taste that second round.
Adam Cole now, maybe in a bad way. No, wait a minute,
Cole,
using the wait a minute.
Manipulated the official so he would not detect the low blow.
Smart.
Wait a minute, I've seen this before.
Oh. What? That's the Panama Sunrise.
He got all that one.
Cole just knocked Gory out.
Here's your winner and moving on to the second round, Adam Cole.
At Panama City Sunrise, using the ropes as extra momentum to springboard into that Canadian destroyer-like flip pile driver. Cole's extra spin on arguably the most devastating move in wrestling. And you notice through the match, Cole target the head, the jaw, the upper area of Jason Gory to soften up the heavy metal high flyer for that maneuver. Adam Cole wrestled a smart matchup, and it led him to the semifinals, Farnsworth.
Absolutely paid off. My original statement still stands. Drop a guy on his head, you got a great chance of winning the match.
Naylor, how do you rate Cole's chances in the long term?
I'll tell you what, I think they're pretty big chances. This young cerebral athlete used his brain a little bit here and put Jason Gory down for the count.
And he gets
Wrestling out of London, Ohio, here is Tyler Stone!
great look back at a Larry Sweeney strut off from years gone by. And who would ever thought we'd hear Chris Maverick and see Steve Coulter on an IWC DVD again?
Yeah, amen.
Tyler Stone, a fill-in for Pinky Sanchez, suffered a serious injury a week ago. Stone qualified in a four-way matchup 3 weeks ago at Road to Super Indy, but was thrown out of the tournament by Bubba the Bulldog to create that impromptu bye for Super Hentai. As a result, though, he was the first alternate, and he gets an opportunity to shine. Only about a year in the game. This is unequivocally the most important night of his career, but I think Pedro realized he's got a t-shirt hanging out of his back pocket. Looks like a freaking Hardy Boy. What's this guy doing? Just a thought. Farnsworth, Tyler Stone, talk. How's his chances?
He has great chances. I'd put it somewhere in the 1 in 10 area.
333 pounds, wrestling out of Mexico City, Illinois, here is Egotistico, Fantastico!
Although, I don't know. I mean, excuse me. Mr. Stone is in great shape, but 3,333 pounds, I don't know that he can lift them.
Interesting. Egotistico Fantastico. Well, we've seen a luchador, we've seen a generic luchador, and now we are seeing a luchador from Mexico City, Illinois.
Egotistico Fantastico making waves across the indie landscape for quite some time now. Happy to see him here in IWC. This guy brings power, size, and speed to his game.
Calls himself the ultraviolet luchador. Won't need a lot of ultraviolence here tonight, but he will need staying power. He will need versatility. And I think the biggest advantage, gentlemen, that Tyler Stone has right now is, after only wrestling about 9 or 10 months, not a lot of footage on this man to scout. Fantastico's kind of coming into this thing cold.
Well, not to mention, up until a couple days ago, he didn't even think he was wrestling.
Exactly.
And planning for a match with Pinky Sanchez and planning for a match against Tyler Stone, I mean, two totally different things.
Very difficult to plan much of anything when it comes to Pinky Sanchez.
No doubt about that, trust me.
Unorthodox style we saw qualify over Bobby Shields, making it into Super Indy. Hope to see Pinky Sanchez back in the months to come. Tyler Stone survived chest flexor, Gregory Iron, the handicapped hero, and one of Bubba the Bulldog's curveballs. He wanted to give an opportunity to a young wrestler. Brought in Adam Flash to round out the four-way.
Adam Flash?
Yeah, that rookie, Adam Flash.
Yeah, one of the Rachis. Love him.
But regardless, Tyler Stone outlasted all three. So he's earned his way in.
That's impressive for a young wrestler, no doubt about that. And you know what? This guy's hungry. He's got nothing to lose here. A good showing, and he's going to be elevated regardless. But if he has a great showing, then he's made.
Well, we've seen young guys like Shima Zion, Jason Gory, Logan Shulo, in the infancy of their careers, break into Super Indy, and some of them have been memorable for good reasons for them, some not so much. But Tyler Stone has a chance to write his own history, write his own ticket here tonight. Can you imagine winning the Super Indy title less than a year into the business?
Very true. That rockets your game up to that A level. Let's be honest. Look at the names that have held on to that belt. There's no one there that was just forgotten about, just faded away. But when we talk about a stepping stone, we talk about the Super Indy title. It's as great as it is, you start getting recognized and start getting more exposure.
Well, let's look at Super Indy 1 winner, Super Hentai, defended that championship in Japan, in Hawaii, appeared in Ring of Honor throughout his reign with that championship as well. Cover for 1. Look at Colt Cabana after Super Indy, advanced to Ring of Honor, WWE, International Tours. Of course, we're not saying Super Indy was solely responsible for a man's success, but it certainly helped in those building blocks.
Yeah, you can connect the dots to it.
It definitely sparks the match. That's now Egotistico, Fantastico. So fundamentally sound so far. This guy can do it all. Good speed for a big man as well. He's got that reach, obviously, here on Tyler Stone.
And
the height advantage, which I never have.
Egotistico is another man who can claim at one point to being the best of the best in certain other promotions tournaments, and that puts him in elite company, but it's all about what you're doing in IWC. What have you done for me lately? Ego's got to prove himself tonight, much like the Cabanas, the Sabins, the Deliriouses, or maybe the Delirii, I'm not sure how that works, but much as they all have proven themselves in the past, Ego must do it tonight. 3 matches. Keep in mind the finals, gentlemen, will be a 3-way matchup, I believe, elimination style.
You know, I think we're all glossing over the one key advantage that Stone has. Really thick chain.
Yes, the Hercules-esque chain impressed me upon his arrival to the ring.
Have you ever been hit by a chain? It hurts.
I don't think he's going to use the chain in the matchup. Tyler Stone has a lot of respect for these athletes.
But he has it, and if he needs to, it's there. And frankly, if I'm looking at elimination, I have no problem uncorking a chain. If Stone's smart, he should think about it.
You don't have no problem hitting a guy with a tire iron.
Amen. If I could wear one to the ring, I would.
Perhaps he needs a smaller one like Lawler used to brandish, but...
Oh, the old Tennessee chain.
Absolutely.
Low drop kick.
Nicely done.
Right now he's getting it done without the chain, so good for him. Just don't forget you have the chain.
Yeah, we get the chain. Yes, there's a chain. I got it.
You know what? This youngster's put himself together a lot in the last year since I last saw him.
He has. I understand he has a lot of great amateur credentials in terms of high school and college sports. Works out religiously, diligently in the gym, and it's very easy to tell. He doesn't have a lot of body fat on him.
Clearly enjoys his rice cakes and egg white.
Oh, gosh.
Big drop kick right to the teeth. Full extension of the legs as well.
He'll be trying rice cakes through a straw for the next week. 2-0. Ego almost had him.
It's easier just to blend that into a pudding.
I see.
We'll be drinking those eggs.
Spoken like a man who's been punched in the teeth a lot.
I have.
Ego now taking control after that awesome drop kick to the face. Just dictating the pace of this match. There's a second hard chop.
And Egotistical showing the power he has. He definitely has a height advantage, and that plays into it when you're able to deliver chops onto someone. You get more leverage.
Absolutely. That motion of coming down with your hand on an opponent. 2-0. Gravity helps you there a lot as well. Ego, former junior champion, and places he's been former heavyweight champion as well. He's very well decorated, very well traveled. Again, throughout the East Coast, Midwest.
And now grounding him with a Cobra clutch, it looks like.
New to IWC fans, their first taste of Fantastico. Some seem to be familiar with him, some not sure what to make of him. But also keep in mind this as well, Tyler Stone, he's from right here in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. He has what some would consider a hometown advantage, but then again, Ego's popularity might drown some of that out.
Yeah, you can hear these idiots up here chanting for him.
Salt of the earth people!
Oh!
At least you're not calling them mouth breathers this month. Cover, 2-0.
Night's young.
Yeah, that's true. We'll be here a while, but we don't mind because Super Indy 10 is indeed the pinnacle of competition in the International Wrestling Cartel.
Crowd split chanting for both Tyler and Ego right here.
Actually, I think that whole section over there is just going moo, moo.
They are not.
Well, you can barely understand them. I think they have a full set of teeth amongst all of them.
Well, right now it's Ego with control in the corner on Tyler Stone.
Ego now picks the man way up in the air. Looks to deposit him somewhere. No!
Took too much time. I think Ego may have underestimated the rookie. All or nothing with Tyler Stone. Textbook belly to belly. Hook of the leg. But you can see Tyler's body was not over top of Ego's. The left shoulder was exposed, and that was the downfall. A rookie mistake by Tyler Stone.
What a beautiful leaping belly-to-belly suplex, shades of another Pittsburgh native.
And Stone now has a bit of momentum on his side compared to moments ago. Can he make the most of this? Tyler Stone's been one of the victims of the Founding Fathers for so many months. The random beatdown, all right in the face. Instinctively back to his feet.
Oh no, wait a minute!
Oh. Queso killer. Goodbye. The Queso Killer, and you want to talk about an emphatic way to put an exclamation point on your first round performance. Egotistico, Fantastico, found a way to do it. And right now, gentlemen, he finds himself in a prime position, arguably the least difficult first round ever to get through. No disrespect to Tyler Stone. Does this give him an advantage long term?
What an incredible finishing maneuver.
It does give him an advantage. I mean, you can tell he hasn't exerted as much as the previous gentlemen that were in the tournament. I mean, nothing against Tyler Stone. He definitely gave him some competition. I think it just speaks more to his conditioning.
I'm here right now backstage with Chuck Roberts. He's preparing for his match tonight with Bubba the Bulldog. There's a huge power trip on the line. It will be the biggest night in IWC history. Chuck, tell me, how have you prepared for a match with such a seasoned veteran such as Bubba the Bulldog? Before I get to Bubba the Bulldog, Justin, what's important to know is the type of event that we got here tonight. We got a packed house. We're doing this for Larry Sweeney here tonight. Let's hear it for Larry Sweeney. And the bottom line is here tonight, no matter what happens. Whoa. Chuck, can I give you a second? You're worrying about the event. Super Indy 10 is a huge event. Larry Sweeney is an incredible competitor. But you need to focus on the match. You know what's at stake? If you lose tonight, you don't only lose the match, you lose ownership of IWC. About time to get your head in the game, man. And you know what? You're going to war tonight. Because you know the Founding Fathers, they never travel alone. So here's what I propose. I'm not going to let you go to war alone. I want to be in your corner tonight. You want to be in my corner. Me and my best want to be in your corner, and we're going to whoop some ass. Well, you know what, first off, the one thing I want to say to you is thank you. Because since I started with this company, you're one of the guys that always had my back. And it certainly's been hell thanks to the Founding Fathers. And no thanks in part to Bubba the Bulldog, who's made my ownership of this company a living hell. But if you're going to step up and stand in my corner, because I know Bubba's going to have Dean Radford in his corner, you know what, brother? Thank you. Thank you very much. And my head does have to be on you, Bubba the Bulldog. I didn't want to be put in this position. I'm not a wrestler, but I'm going to fight for this company. I'm going to fight for you, every single fan that comes and pays money to be here. So you can best get here tonight. Thanks to this man along in my corner, Bubba the Bulldog, you're going to be done and you're going to be out of this company. And folks, it's all going to be done in the name of Larry Sweeney. That's what I'm talking about. Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, the Holy Singles Contest is an opening round matchup in the Super Indy 10 tournament. Introducing first, he weighs at 203 pounds, wrestling out of Los Angeles, California. He is a former Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion. He is a former two-time WWC Junior Heavyweight Champion. And he is a former IWC Heavyweight Champion, the Cuban Crippler, Ricky Reyes.
Stakes are high for Chuck Roberts and Bubba the Bulldog, and as much as I am enjoying Super Indy 10, I can't help but feel that weight on my shoulders that by the end of the night, we may not realize the future direction of this company, our jobs, or anything if Bubba the Bulldog has 100% of the power to run things his way. But That's later tonight. Right now, I'm doing Ricky Reyes, a former IWC champion. He won the IWC title in a one-night tournament. That's important to mention based on the stakes here tonight. The Super Indy title, similar format, 10 men instead of 8, however. How will Reyes fare against one of IWC's homegrown stars, roaming the streets at night, creeping while you're sleeping, former two-time tag team champion?
And his opponent, he weighs in at 172 pounds, and he is roaming the streets at night, creeping while you're sleeping. He is IWC's own Michael Facade.
Michael Facade, the Neon Ninja, the spray paint enthusiast, the graffiti artist, the perfect mix of the recklessness of life on the streets with the discipline of the Japanese style, has competed in Super Indies gone by. Who could forget his appearance in Super Indy 8 when he was eliminated in the first round by Elijah Burke, now known as the Pope D'Angelo De Niro. Facade got birthed back into a later round thanks to an injury and had a memorable hard-hitting contest with my good buddy Sami Callihan. Michael Facade ready for action here tonight, however, against a man with a proven track record in IWC. A man who will ground and pound you, tap out or pass out. The only man in my life I've ever seen who has made Low-Key, Homicide, Shirley Doe, Brett Albright, and a laundry list of others all tap out to that dragon sleeper Farnsworth. We were around for all of it. The dominant reign of Ricky Reyes as champion will not soon be forgotten, let alone his wars with men like Ray Rowe.
Very, very true. I don't know that I've ever agreed with you any more than I do right now, Joe Dombrowski. I've always said Ricky Reyes is pound for pound the best conditioned athlete in IWC, and that's what Michael the Bomber Facade has to deal with right now. Normally, Facade used to using his speed and quickness to sort of wear down men, tire them out. I don't know that he can do that against Ricky Reyes.
A major clash of styles between Ricky Reyes and Michael Facade. Facade influenced by men like Sabu, Rob Van Dam, Hayabusa, a high-flying martial arts hybrid. Now, Reyes knows all about martial arts himself. He's trained with Antonio Inoki before. However, he is, like I said, a ground and pound athlete. He'll grab you in a hold, he will twist you, he will stretch you every which way until it is, as I said, tap out or pass out.
One does not want to mess with Ricky Reyes, that's for darn sure. This guy, one of the original Havana Brothers tag team who are all just very proficient in mixed martial arts. This guy's got an unbelievable ground game, as you mentioned earlier. Facade uses his speed and quickness there to reverse this situation and grabs a headlock of his own.
Well, Reyes has been called a pit bull, a Rottweiler, and most recently, the Cuban Crippler. And those names speak for themselves. Reyes spent a lot of time in Puerto Rico working for Carlos Colon, the World Wrestling Council, as Pedro mentioned, a two-time WWC Junior Heavyweight Champion. We've seen him defend that title before in IWC against Davey Richards, as a matter of fact. And but now it's Michael Facade on top of Reyes. Maybe the first time these men have ever met, don't quote me on that, but a little feeling out process early on. Facade can wrestle. We know he has great training. We know he does have a ground game. He is well-rounded, even though he doesn't choose to show that part of his repertoire, but now he may be forced to. And if Reyes can force Facade to do that, it's advantage Ricky Reyes.
Well, just because you know how to do something doesn't mean you should do it. I mean, I know how to make eggs, but you're not going to see me eating that peasant food.
I see. Facade with the chancery.
I'd rather enjoy eggs, but that's neither here nor there.
I guess says a lot about you.
Apparently it does. Ricky Reyes now with that armbar. Look at that, the big elbow from Facade. Broken up by Reyes. Nice little drop kick, sending Facade and his hair to the mat.
The hair goes with the body more often than not. I hope so. However, Facade. Ricky Reyes qualified for this tournament 3 weeks ago when he defeated the frontman Logan Shulo, and Reyes had very interesting comments that certainly resonate with me and all the fans that were here. He wanted to dedicate his specific berth in this tournament to Larry Sweeney. Of course, our entire night is dedicated to Sweeney, but Reyes wants to have a great showing, win, lose, or draw here in the memory of Sweeney, who, while Reyes and Sweeney seem like polar opposites on the surface, and in many ways they are, they did have a great rapport and professional relationship.
No doubt about that. Look at this, though. Not to get away from that discussion, here comes Facade.
Well, Facade created that distance. That's been the theme of the night so far, but right into the Reyes elbow.
Reyes smart to go in through the bottom rope, stay low and out of the vision of Facade, and then pop up with that. Didn't give Facade a chance to change his game plan on that dive. At least I'm assuming he was going for a dive.
Well, one would think that's in Facade's specialty, in his comfort zone. And interesting point that we really didn't get a chance to touch upon with Jason Gory, but certainly applies to Michael Facade as well. Flippin' Ain't Easy have been a very regular tag team here in IWC over the past year. And even though Facade still competes in a single manner in other organizations, not so much here in IWC does that throw off your psychological game plan, coming here to Elizabeth and going back to singles competition.
Well, I would like to point out that they recently lost their tag team titles.
Cover, your fault.
When was that?
That was 3 weeks ago to the Founding Fathers.
Exactly. I would put it out there that they were already distracted, concentrating on this tournament, and
Foot on the rope.
I don't know. Will they go back to tag team work after the tournament?
Well, I hope they do, because we need a credible tag team to unseat the Founding Fathers. Dennis Gregory and Jimmy Vegas, probably arguably two most decorated champions of any kind in company history. And they control the tag titles, and they have Bubba and McChesney and Radford, and now apparently Hentai watching their back, and it could be Founding Fathers, 100% power, end of the night.
You're also working on the assumption that the Founding Fathers are just going to tear through the kings of wrestling?
I'm not assuming anything.
If we need someone to dethrone them, the Kings of Wrestling have as good a shot as any other tag team in the world right now, in my opinion.
That is very true. And Reyes with a high angle back suplex. Dropped Facade right to the back of the neck. On top for 2.5.
Did you see Facade bounce off the mat? Oh, just got drilled with that maneuver.
Reyes makes every movement count. He gets the most out of everything he does. He's so intense. He's so focused. And that goes with hanging out and being running buddies with Low-Key and Homicide for so long. He brings that same intensity and serious focus to the ring, where we can question where Facade's head is at times, singles, tag team, Founding Father, Super Indy. We know Reyes has that tunnel vision.
This is no doubt not only just a contrast in styles, it's a contrast in personality types right here.
And you see Reyes working on the neck and just twisting away at the head of Michael the Bomber Facade, perhaps softening him up, or at least knowing that if he needs to, he can go to that Dragon Sleeper and already have an in-way in, so to speak.
That neck vice, already crimping that neck, preparing for a potential Dragon Sleeper. Facade has that second burst of adrenaline, however, beginning to shut out the pain, get back to a vertical base. Reyes loses momentum that way. Facade maybe an inch or two taller than Reyes. Reyes knows that. Back to square one, nobody home. Facade and Reyes both recently a part of the Urban Wrestling Federation DVD taping.
I was not invited to that, by the way.
I wonder why. Yeah, you and I didn't have the call that evening. I'm not sure why.
Facade now putting together some big moves, calling out to his fans, and there's a lot of them here.
And off comes that gi. That means Facade's ready to take this thing home.
Up and over.
Nicely done springboard. Connects the leg right to the back of the neck, and it's Facade working on the neck of Reyes now. Oh, Facade's so dangerous. A tightrope wall into a drop kick. Will that be enough to put away Ricky Reyes? No, not yet.
Facade had that pin cinched nice and tight. It was Reyes and that strength just powering out of it.
Arabian moonsault for 2-0.
I mean, he didn't throw him off him like he was Kevin Nash, but he just broke the pin as if he wasn't holding on the correct way. Once again, showing Reyes' strength.
Reyes out to safe ground, but maybe not.
No safe ground when you're dealing with the Bomber. He went for it earlier, but Reyes had it scouted a second time. And Reyes chops down the vertical base of Facade, right off the apron. And keep in mind that ring frame is where metal meets wood. That does not feel good. And Reyes is able to capitalize with some fancy footwork of his own. Dragon Sleeper time.
Oh.
No. Kick right to the ear, and that can mess up your equilibrium big time.
Yes, it can. Oh, we've seen...
Oh! A delayed brainbuster. Good night. Crippler does it. No. And check out the energy at Facade.
Facade kicking out with authority even.
And that's what Super Indy's about, pushing your body beyond its normal limits.
Showing that intestinal fortitude. Off the ropes goes Reyes.
Reyes measures Facade. Reyes is going to win a striking game when the arms are involved. The legs may be a wash. Sit out powerbomb. All of Facade's weight is over Facade's own shoulders, but still he presses on and kicks out. Perfect cover by Reyes, but still not enough. Keep in mind, Facade further driven by the fact his ex-mentor, Hentai, is a founding father now. He wants to get that Super Indy Championship back into the Chuck Roberts side of the camp, back in the Pro IWC side of the camp. And Facade can do it. He's come oh so close in the past. He's taken Hentai to his limit, among others. Both men just jockeying for position, for leverage.
Oh!
Ouch.
A good solid forearm to the jaw.
Head of steam by Reyes, but Facade a step ahead.
Did you see the speed he came
got
off
it.
the ropes with?
Just followed him into the ropes with that springboard front enziguri to the face.
And the crowd now distinctly behind Michael Facade, two men with very personal reasons to press on, battling it out center of the ring.
Rolls through. No. Yes, got it.
Leverage wins out. No. Reversal. Reyes may have had a little handful of, well, whatever the hell you call it. They're not tights. A tire.
There you go.
Backslide coming up. Who's got it? Facade drops first. 2-1, no. Did not have the energy to drive with the legs. Maestro cradle. And Reyes with a near fall. Farnsworth, 2 years ago, did you ever expect Facade to go blow for blow with Ricky Reyes like this?
No, I did not, and it shows the intestinal fortitude that Facade has developed throughout the years of being in the ring.
Jackknife style now.
Oh!
Facade with the reversal.
Yeah!
Got it! Bomber did it!
Here is your second round, Michael Facade.
And that gentleman came down to weight positioning. That came down to quite simply a leverage maneuver, thinking on your feet, and out-wrestling Ricky Reyes. I'll say that again, out-wrestling Ricky Reyes. And Facade sure as hell earned that one.
A huge win by any estimation, but yes, Facade moves on into Super Indy with a big-time victory over Ricky Reyes.
Farnsworth, we just talked about it. A couple of years ago, Facade wouldn't be in this league with Havana Pitbull. Tonight, he may have surpassed it. Huge coming of age for the Neon Ninja.
Absolutely. I've watched this kid train. I call him a kid. He's a man now. And he proved it tonight. Honestly.
And you know what?
I'm impressed.
Nothing for Ricky Reyes to be ashamed about. I'm sure Larry Sweeney, in spirit, he's in this building somewhere, smiling down on the effort of both these men in this matchup. But ladies and gentlemen, the positive mood may change in moments, because up next, the fate of our jobs, the fate of this organization may very well be decided, because as the night presses on, the founding fathers will become more evident and make their presence known.
It's scheduled for a one fall. Introducing first, he weighs in at 185 pounds, wrestling out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight, he has declared that if he loses this contest, he will forfeit his ownership of the IWC. Being escorted ringside by Justin Io, here is Chuck Roberts.
Quite simply, all of Chuck Roberts' power as the IWC owner is on the line in this matchup. And this is not in the boardroom. It's not in the conference room. It's not done via contracts. It's done out of Chuck Roberts' domain. Chuck has never competed officially in a professional wrestling match. tonight won't be a wrestling match. It won't be catch as catch can. It'll be a fight. But as much as I hate to say it, physically, I don't believe Chuck's a match. Strength in numbers goes to the fathers as well. I hope Chuck has a plan.
I concur with you. Chuck is outgunned on this one.
He might not have a plan, but he's got, at ringside,
He's got Justin Idol, that's right, he's got him backing him up. And Justin Idol, former tag team champion, Super Indy finalist, but there's one Justin Idol. There's many founding fathers.
here we go.
Wrestling out of the dog pound and representing the founding fathers, he is the director of wrestling operations, Bubba the Bulldog.
For the past year plus, it's been Chuck running the company. It's been Bubba controlling the in-ring operations as best as he could. Ever since Bubba had Shane Douglas fired from the position. Ever since then, it's been a power struggle between the two. And notice, Bubba is not alone. Dennis Gregory and Jimmy Vegas, the tag champions. Heavyweight champion, Big League John McChesney. Their hired heavy, Dean Radford. And you know, Hentai is not far away either.
See, to be a founding father, you always got to be a little step ahead.
It's very true.
You gun lovers are thinking fastball, we're hitting you with the curve. Bubba can't be here tonight. I know how much it breaks your hearts, but Bubba won't be here tonight. He's got some personal issues, a family emergency, and I'm serious.
There's got to be a plan there too.
No, it's not going to be that easy for you, Mr. Roberts.
It should be a forfeit win.
I got a text message from Bubba the Bulldog. He's telling me, hold on, wait a second. Okay. Tell Chuck we've got somebody who's equal to his caliber to fight in my place. Don't read his name, show it to him.
What's this? Equal to Bubba's caliber?
The fight heavyweights are about to go at it.
Oh dear Lord. It's chest flexor. Whoever.
And chest flexor's amazing robe. Let's not discount that.
Well, you want to talk about throwing around money and power. Chest flexor obviously got bought off. We got promised something in the new regime IWC.
Well, let's be honest. You get a win over the owner of the company. That's a good bargaining point.
IWC, you're a man. You said you'd do it. Do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Bubba the Bulldog's hand-picked replacement. He weighs in at 185 pounds, wrestling out of Beachport, Pennsylvania. The $1 billion man, Chest Flexor.
I have no idea what to make of this, quite frankly. I'm in stunned silence, to be quite honest with you. I'm not sure if this helps or hurts Chuck Roberts to be thrown this chest flexor curveball. Flex is a hell of an athlete. He doesn't have the experience of a Bubba the Bulldog.
All right, Dean. Dean, you talked to Bubba on the phone before you came out, Dean. You know what to do, kid.
Flexor stroking his hair. What are you gonna do, Chuck?
You
Chuck
have
is
to
fired
believe
up right now.
that Chuck is now infinitely more confident.
So Chuck Roberts is wrestling chest flexor for control of all our jobs. That's happening here.
Wow. And Flexor with the knees to the gut.
Flex.
A huge right hand to the jaw.
Flexor, if you lose, I feel sorry for where your career is going to go, accepting this offer and doing this to the guy that's still the owner of the company as of now.
Oh, a camel clutch.
And Chuck's power's on the line. And Justin Idol helping out Chuck Roberts, getting the crowd into this thing, but the crowd's a great sixth man, so to speak, but how much can it help you when you're not a professional wrestler?
Well, like you said, this isn't a wrestling match. This is a fight. There we go.
Ouch.
And fighting Chuck is doing right now.
And I don't think the referee is going to complain to his boss about the closed fist.
Well, he should. I mean, it is his job to regulate something
And
like
now
that.
a mud hole being stomped in the chest flexor by Chuck. Get some.
Well, Chuck, I'll give him credit, he's performing well so far, but to my right, I see Dennis Gregory and Jimmy Vegas lurking, holding a chair, and Chuck gets dropped into that tightly enforced ring rope. And look, like vultures, they're swarming. Come on. And again, all the experience, many of these men around since the very beginning of IWC, they know how to manipulate this official.
And can you blame them?
Yes, I can blame them. This is not how you get your spot on top of the card. You
Well,
don't buddy up to the
anyway.
guy in charge, you don't kiss ass, and you don't come out here and have a gang assault on the owner of the company.
No, you don't. And that's why you're not at the top of the company. These guys see an opportunity, and they're taking it. I don't blame them for
You know what
that.
the great thing about independent wrestling is? The talent rises to the top. It's not the same guys hanging around for 10, 15 years.
You're questioning the talent?
All these guys left, and rather than work their way back up the ranks when they came back, they took the spots that they got replaced in.
They took the spots because they weren't able to because of their talent.
Because of the politics, the strength in numbers, Bubba's power. What happened?
And their talent.
What happened to the Shima Zions, the Jason Gorys, the Michael Facades, the pre-founding father hentais? These guys are the faces of IWC.
Sure, and I want to point out Chuck Roberts did a body slam.
And that's a hell of an impressive slam. And I would not be doing this if I was Chuck Roberts right now.
I read this
no.
tracks.
Don't tempt fate. Elbow. Not a lot of luster, but he has the positioning. He has the pin. No.
Not quite Bobby Eaton, but you know what? It's his first match, and you gotta be impressed with Chuck Roberts going up into the high-risk area and dropping a big elbow.
Well, he'll do whatever he can in his power for his company, for Larry Sweeney's memory, for Super Indy. And to finally switch this power away from Bubba, but you see again, Dean Radford has been instrumental at ringside in just about every Founding Father match for 3 months now.
And now, Chest Flexor applying a good throttle walk.
And how the hell is Chest Flexor a Founding Father anyway?
That one I don't question. I mean, if he has $1 billion, he can be whatever
He does not have
wants.
$1 billion.
He has $1 billion.
I thought when DiBiase choked him out, we were off of that subject. Chuck kicks out. That's the issue here. We were a second away from Bubba, I'm assuming Bubba, having control over everything. And why is Bubba not
Wait a
here?
minute! Chuck's fired up right now!
To be fair, a billionaire doesn't really have that good of a set of punches.
Chuck firing away on Flexor, and it's again being willed by that adrenaline. Willed by the love of this company.
Big boot! I'm begging for a leg drop. Here we go!
Really?
Yes!
Whatever works, I like my job.
One,
Hook the leg, hook the leg, hook the leg.
It always
How
worked
many-
for that guy in Venice Beach.
How many people have ever kicked out from the Hulk Hogan leg drop? That is an impressive thing
Well,
that Chest Flexor just did.
Chuck ain't 6'6" and 300 pounds, brother. He's got to rethink this.
It was a little bit of a tribute.
Well,
Oh! Flexor using the advantage
whoa,
of
whoa,
those
whoa, whoa,
boots.
look on the left
Man,
side.
it's some chicanery going on right here.
Dennis Gregory positioning that wooden chair. And Dennis Gregory and Chuck used to be best friends.
No!
Idol's been neutralized. Flexor got set in. up! You got this, Chuck! Oh no! Jeez! The father's getting involved again. He can't win. How can he combat these odds?
Beautiful roll-up.
Inside cradle.
No!
No.
Not this way!
Come on. Idol back in. Idol reverses the pin to the original.
Oh.
No. Al Vegas puts Chuck's shoulders back down. The Founding Fathers, there's too many of them.
Come on.
There's too many of them.
I, for one, welcome our new overlords.
This sucks. This sucks.
Turn that music off. This is how you do it, Pedro. Here is your winner, Just Flexor! Shut your mouth. We gotta get him up. Chuck, you should stay here.
Are we gonna gloat about it now?
With you?
Hey, Chuck.
What's this mean for us?
Give me a minute to get it together. Hey, Chuck, look at me. You see what I have here in my hands? This is the official contract that says Bubba the Bulldog now owns IWC.
Got all of Chuck's power. 100%.
Chuck, you call yourself a man? Well, be a man and sign it right now.
Do we have to do this in public? Do we have to humiliate him on such an important night for this company?
Yeah. You press your advantage.
It's embarrassing.
The contracts need witnesses, Joe.
I don't want Bubba in charge of me. You want him in charge of you?
Yes, and if you're listening, Bubba, that was Joe that said that.
Chuck, now's not the time to get brazen.
Don't be stupid. Sign it.
Yeah. Real cute.
You got something to say, huh?
You know, I'm sorry. For a year and a half, I've been telling you guys I'm sorry. For this past match, I'm sorry. But there's one more thing I'm sorry about. I can't sign this.
What do you mean you can't sign it? Sign it now!
No, listen. Wiggly. Founding Fathers, I'm telling you, I can't sign it.
Be a man and keep your word. Sign it now.
Listen, I gotta be honest with you guys. And I gotta be honest with all of you. I would sign it, but I can't.
Wait. You can't or you won't?
I can't. The reason that I can't sign this is because I don't own the company anymore.
What?
Wait, what?
Well, you don't own the company. Who does?
As of yesterday at noon, because I thought this might happen, this man
Who the hell is it?
Who owns the...
What the... What?
Oh my God!
What? No! He hadn't been here in years! Many years! I think hell just emptied! 'Cause I think the devil is back!
If Chuck had a plan, he's walking down the ramp right now.
Well, Bubba just won 100% of Chuck's power, but Chuck has no power anymore. Sterling James Keenan owns IWC.
You can't lose your soul in a poker match if he already sold it to the devil.
What an incredible development this is! I've never been happier to hear Lars Frederiksen and the Bastards. I'm not even gonna lie right now.
Sterling left IWC under controversial terms in, I believe, 2007 or 8. And we have not heard a peep about him or from him in this company since. Why has he chosen here and now to come back?
IWC, I have only one question for you. Did you miss me? Now I want you all to understand one thing very clearly. I didn't do this because Chuck Roberts is my friend. I didn't do this because I wanted to save IWC. I did this for me. Because he made me a deal yesterday that I absolutely couldn't walk away from. When my music hit just now, and I heard the people, and I saw you four goons standing in the ring, I knew I made the best decision of my entire life. Because you might be the founding fathers, well that's all well and good, except there was one more guy that put this company on his back, and you're looking at him.
That's true.
You don't see me crying, you don't see me pissing and moaning like Bubba the Bulldog about, I need control, I didn't say things, I get things done. So as of right now, Danny, shut up, the boss is talking.
Wow. Zero tolerance from SJK.
You were here when it started, but you left. Can you cut his mic? You left, someone cut his mic. I think it's off. I hope it's off. If not, we'll just have to spike it off the ground. It'll cost Chuck a couple $100, no big deal. Oh wait, it's gonna cost me a couple $100. Then he put that down with care. Now if you take, hey, I'm not done talking, moron. You know it's been a long time since I've been here. Super Indy 10, here we are. It's been God knows how long since SJK's been in an IWC ring, and it feels pretty good. But I came here, and I bought this company because the last clown that ran this place ran me out of town against my will.
Oh my.
Well, I'm here to finish things on my terms now. You, and even you, moron, you work for me now. So what I'd like to have right now is for you clowns to take your half-ass tap-out shorts and get the hell out of my ring. Just because I haven't been kicking ass in IWC doesn't mean I won't still whip yours, Vegas. I can count, pal. I got 2 hands. That's enough for all of you. Now get now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a little rule of my own. If you 4 morons don't get out of the ring by the count of 10, you're all fired. Hey guys, why don't you help me out here? 1.
There's no Bubba to counteract this. Sterling has full control here this evening. Bubba's plan backfired in a big way. And you want to talk about hands-on control, that's SJK.
What are you still doing here, kid, other than looking completely stupid?
He's not a founding father, so I guess he's immune to the ruling.
You want to introduce yourself? I know you sure as hell aren't a founding father. Who are you?
Oh,
I'm Chest Flexor.
oh, please.
You're Chest Flexor.
Who won't he kiss up to?
You mean to tell me when you came flying out of your mother's womb, the first thing your parents could think of was chest? I'm going to give you a break here because you look like you're trying to do something creative. I'm not quite sure what it is.
The hell's
I mean,
that?
we've all had some poor outfit decisions in the past. So maybe I'll let you leave on your own 2 legs this time. Just this once, consider this a get out of jail free card from the boss. Don't make me change my mind, kid.
Don't tempt
You
fate.
know what? Too late.
Oh, chest flexor, we hardly knew ye. The boss taking control, making an example out of one of his newfound roster members, chest flexor. And it's time for Flexor to feel the MK Ultra. It brought Sterling IWC titles in the past.
Things are about to change. My name is SJK, and I'm the worst thing that has ever happened to you.
Farnsworth, out of all the shockers we could have possibly predicted, all the plans, the mind games between Bubba the Bulldog and Chuck Roberts, who would have ever expected SJK, who was ostracized from this organization some 3 or 4 years ago, signed over the paperwork at the 11th hour to take control. Jay Worth, meet your new boss. How do you feel?
I feel just great. I'm a huge fan of Sterling James Keenan. We've had a lot of good times, and I'm glad to see him in control.
Yeah, keep laying on pretty thick, don't you? Sterling James Keenan, you want to talk about fighting fire with the founding fathers. SJK can back up his words physically, but Chuck Roberts may not. And with this man watching the company, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the rest of Super Indy 10.